I'm Igor Kafetz, and this is the List Building Lifestyle, a podcast for those who want to build a large profitable email list and make six figures from anywhere in the world. If you would like to get rich by building a large email list while helping people, this podcast is for you. I also invite you to attend a free web class I'm conducting this week to find out how I built a list of 4,331,656 email subscribers at a profit. Secure your free seat at igor.cx. Attend this free workshop to discover an easy way to get 50 to 500 new email leads per day on complete autopilot without losing tons of money. Just go to igor.cx to attend this free web class. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle. Welcome back to another edition of the List Building Lifestyle with your host, Igor Kafetz. Today I'm hosting my friend Patric Chen. He's a co-author of Clicking Cash, the book he co-authored with Robert G. Allen, the real estate best-selling author. And he's also the founder of CB Passive Income, one of the longest-standing, I think highest-earning ClickBank offers on the market. If my stats are correct. So definitely somebody who's we would consider a super affiliate, an internet marketing superstar, a quote-unquote a guru, right? And finally, after about 3 years of trying to get him on the show, I was finally able to secure this interview. So Patric, thank you so much for being here.
Hey Igor, thanks for the introduction, and it's a privilege for me to be here with you and to be featured here. So it's definitely an honor here, and let's see what I can contribute to your audience.
Sure, absolutely. And, I got the perfect way to set us off into this interview. One of the biggest concepts that I've learned as far as either, growing into success or I guess wanting to become a little bit more successful and being more intentional about success is the concept of future Igor, right? So it's a concept where you imagine yourself exactly where you are right now, and then you try to imagine what would you like to become, in the future, and then try to mastermind with yourself and see what you would, recommend to yourself in this situation right now if you were like that ideal person you want to become in the future. I know it's a little bit confusing, but it basically requires for you to be able to look forward into time and try to see the kind of person you want to become. Mm-hmm. Now, to launch us into this interview, I want to go into the past. I want to still play with time, but I want to go into the past, and I want to ask you this: if you had a DeLorean, right, or a time machine, and you could go back, I don't know, like you've been online for at least 15 years now, probably more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you could go back about 15 or 20 years when you first got started online, what would be the first thing you would tell yourself?
I think that what I'm experiencing right now is that I realize that the value of building asset, it is so critical in today's success. And let's say I was to rewind back to Back to the Future with the time machine, I think that I would focus on building the brand, so to speak. Now, I know this whole concept of the brand, it's pretty wide. It's hard to define. How do you define a brand? Let me just put it this way. Like, for instance, Igor, you have done a great job with your brand. So when people think about you, they think about traffic. And not just traffic, but hey, this guy sends good traffic, responsive traffic, and so on. So, you have that brand. And when I got started, I wasn't truly focusing on building the brand. I was everywhere on the map, trying to make money here and there and so on. And at one time, I think it was about 2005 or something like that, I've got this brand called You Can Do It. It's an interesting brand. It was given to me by a friend of mine by the name of Stephen Pierce, who is a veteran internet marketer at that time, one of the top in his league. So he was saying to me that, hey, you got to build this brand. It's called You Can Do It. I says, what kind of silly brand is that? And he says, your name is Patric Chen, so you can do it. And he has this tone. He's a very big heart person, and as well in the size and everything else. So when he says that to me, I didn't really get it. But after he explained to me the whole concept of, hey, look, you live in Asia, you live in this part of the world, and yet you can achieve all this success despite being an ordinary person. and that's why it's you can do it, as in like you can do it. So I love that brand when he gave it to me, and I started building on that, and it picks up, and I was selling my program, my courses, and so on. And after that, I sort of let go of the brand. I wasn't like building deeper into the brand, and it's just gone by. And fast forward to today, I realized that by having the right brand, that's how you actually attract all the sales and success. So many people think of doing, like, say, affiliate marketing, right? They build a mailing list, which is a great asset. As in, like, every affiliate marketer would be recommended to build their own mailing list. Now, the thing is that, right, the challenge is that everybody is trying to compete with each other to promote the same product launch. And I sort of figure out sort of crack the code of how to be the top with affiliate promotion and so on. And I'm not saying this to blow my own horn or anything like that. It is just referring back to my own results. And I realized that, hey, I don't have a bigger list than other people. I don't throw bigger bonuses than other people. The only difference is that I build my brand with my list. So they identify me as a different affiliate marketer, so to speak. And that's how I was able to become the top JV partners, or as they call it, super affiliates in product launches. So in short, when I talk about looking back, what would be something that I would be doing differently is focusing on building asset. And brand is definitely the asset that I will put a lot of weight on.
All right, that makes sense. So you're saying that, it's fine that you're building a list. That obviously something you should be doing, but it's even better when you're positioned differently with your list, meaning that when you're capable of creating a feeling or a perception that whenever somebody thinks of a certain thing, they think of you. So for me, it's, when people think of traffic or email traffic or solo, they think of me, right? For you, when people think of ClickBank super affiliates, or when they think of, cloning an online business, they think of you. And what you're suggesting is for anyone who wants to become an affiliate marketer and make a lot of money, they should be building this asset rather than chasing fast results, which incidentally don't really show up anyway. So a lot of times, people end up wasting that time. And I came across a study by ClickBank the other day, and they say that less than 1% of people in ClickBank.com who get into the affiliate marketing space actually end up making any money or changing their lives significantly. Yeah, which I find to be pretty much just the same as when I got started. When I got started, the failure rates online and in the affiliate marketing space were also quite ridiculously high. And I understand why. Because if you're not different, if you're not standing out, and you're promoting the same product that everybody else promotes, then what is exactly the reason for the consumer to buy from you? Because online, unlike in a physical environment, right? Your competitors are within a fingertip reach, same way as you are. Yeah. I mean, they're just as visible, and they have the same tools and the same outreach. So that's cool. Now, again, we're still back in the past, right? We're still talking to the newbie Patric. So you just told him, okay, Patric, the first thing you got to do is build an asset, build a brand. And what would then be, I guess, what would be some of the action steps that young Patric would need to take in order to at least lay the foundation for a successful online brand?
Right. Okay. So we have briefly covered that in a sense that you're going to be known for something. Like, you cannot be known as just an affiliate marketer. You have to be known, you're an affiliate marketer for something, right? And in terms of the tactical ground, the best way for you to build a brand is to create your own product. So let's say I'm a newbie, right? I'm trying to do affiliate marketing. Now, the whole concept here of building a product doesn't mean that you need to create a product in order for you to sell the product. You see, the product becomes an extension of your brand. So now you are, in a sense, and I'm talking to myself, so I would just change the context of this presentation into like me talking to myself. So I would tell myself, hey, you know what, Patric, you got to have your own product by your name, because now you can tell people you are the creator of blah, 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 whatever the product's name is. So I realized that when I launched my first course, like the first official course that I'm proud of, called the Chengdu Internet Success System, I realized that I'm like at a different level, so to speak. Like I'm taken more seriously in a sense. So even though if you created your product and it doesn't sell, and that's still okay because now you sort of one league above the rest of the affiliates, so to speak. Now, if you don't create a product, you can write a book. However, the book doesn't have as much value, or should I say, perceived value of what your offer is. So let me expand this a bit more tactical. So one of the way how we do affiliate marketing is that whenever there is a promotion going on, I don't like throw bonuses like, take 100 resale rights products and put it together and throw some bonuses. We don't do that. Each time there's a product launch, we will actually create a unique bonus specifically for that. And we just have one bonus to compete with any other affiliates that throw like 5, 6, or 10 bonuses. But we keep the bonus unique. Now, so going back to the past of Patric, I will tell the past of Patric, hey, you should start creating products right now. Now, it doesn't matter if it doesn't sell, but make sure you create valuable products, right? Because now you'll be known as the product creator of whatever the product's name is. And when you are promoting affiliate programs, you can be adding these products as the bonuses towards whichever promotion that you're doing. So I'm just going to pause it here, so that the audience can follow the vibes here. And, I'm open to questions from here onwards.
Right. So what you're saying is you have to be known for something. You have to be more than just an affiliate marketer. You have to be an affiliate marketer with a mission. And one of the best ways to do it is to create a product around a certain topic or niche or expertise of some kind, which then allows you to kind of position yourself in a unique category in the niche. So even if you're not 100% unique, you're still going to be way more unique, and you're going to be standing out from a crowd of 100,000 affiliates promoting the same products to the same market.
Mm-hmm. And I want to add on this is that when we talk about creating a product, let's say we're going to do something about list building. We're not going to create a product says step-by-step system on how to build a list. That is lame. That's what everyone else is doing. When I mention about creating a product, the product has to be unique in terms of the angle, in terms of the specification of it, or in terms of the brand itself. So, for instance, I may want to be known as the Twitter list builder. So I have this secret, I have this system on how you can build a mailing list by just using Twitter, for instance. So that's what I mean by creating a product and being known for something that is very specific. It still covers the whole 9 yards of list building, but the methodology of achieving that is unique.
Yeah, and there's a word you just mentioned, angle. This is I think one of the most common used word when I build a promotion and I work with my team. It's always about the angle. The first hour of working on a promotion is always about figuring out the angles. And I think the angle, for an affiliate is a big concept to grasp, because those who understand it, those who know how to manipulate angles, and I use the word manipulate in the positive context of, controlling the frame with which the product is perceived here. So I guess my question is, what is an angle, right? Well, what exactly is an angle?
So it depends on which part of promotion that you're doing, and in other words, ironically, which part of the angle that you want to be positioned as. I mean, there is the broad angle where you're known for something. So I know this is very abstract of what we are talking about. So I'm going to give you a very simple example, so to speak. So for instance, let's take an example of Tim Ferriss of 4-Hour Work Week, right? So his brand it's about how to achieve all the work in 4 hours. But if you look at it, it's actually about outsourcing, productivity, and so forth. But he didn't come out with a book and says that, hey, I'm going to teach you how to outsource. I'm going to teach you about productivity. I'm going to teach you about efficiency. He's not doing that. He has this 4-hour work week. So that literally covers a whole different kind of angle by itself. Now, that's on the broad angle, so to speak. But let's say we're doing like mini promotions. So this is more tactical. Let's say we're doing an email promotion, right? So let's say I'm promoting Igor's product. Let's say, Igor, you have a program on list building or traffic. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's say you have a program about traffic, right? So if I was to promote to my mailing list, I'm going to angle it to their favor. So I got to know what is my audience is all about. What do they like? So let's say I know that they are into affiliate marketing, which means that when I promote Igor's traffic course, I will angle it that the traffic is for affiliate marketing. So that's what I mean, where we're going into like very micro for the angle itself. Now, when I do it that way, then of course the audience will be more receptive towards your product, because now it's talking to their language. So if I was to promote it and say, hey, this is a great course, this is an advanced program and so on, it's about traffic. Now, the program is definitely a great program. However, they could not see it. They are still, thinking about affiliate marketing. So that's what I mean by angle. I hope that it makes sense.
So what you're saying is you're able to segment or present a solution that, as it relates to a certain group of people, perhaps a certain market segment. So traffic for affiliate marketers, traffic for e-commerce businesses, traffic for agencies, and so on and so forth. That could be one form of an angle.
Well, interestingly is that you are the one who get to choose the angle that you want. So what I'm trying to say is this. The product could be about traffic, right? But it can be angled as in like traffic for affiliate marketing.
Right, absolutely. So it's a solution to a certain type of problem, not all the problems.
Yeah, or even though if the course, the program, the product is for everything, but we do not want to say that it's for everything. We want to say that it is for affiliate marketing specifically. And that's what I define by the angle.
Right. Are there any other ways to angle things aside from relating to a particular market segment?
Right. So I could not think of at this moment of time. The way how I do it is that when I look for the product that I'm promoting, I will make sure that I speak of that product the way how my audience wants to hear about it. I mean, that's how I've been doing it.
Right. So can you give us an example?
So let's take CB Passive Income. Now, I'm saying this because it's my own product and it's easier for me to relate because I understand the nature of that. So CB Passive Income could be angled in, many angles. It could be a system to build a clickbank business. It could be a system to build a list. It could be a system for affiliate marketing. It could be also angled as a turnkey home-based business opportunity. And the latest angle that we're using right now is on funnel, because funnel is like the hottest topic. So leading to this, and to answer to your question in this context, is that seeing that the market is more favored towards funnel right now, we will angle CB Passive Income as a turnkey solution for launching your own funnel without building it by yourself.
Right. And of course, we'll have Russell Brunson to thank for introducing the word funnel to the rest of the world.
Precisely. Right. So, I mean, he had done such a great job of educating the whole industry of how powerful funnel is. I mean, he has taken funnel, the whole concept, to the whole next level.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a great messenger, great messenger of the funnel, which of course serves his company probably more so than it serves everybody else. But I see why the market is more responsive to the word funnel and to the word done for you funnel or clone my funnel than being responsive to something else. So that makes perfect sense. So what you're saying is, again, what I'm hearing is you take an existing product and you've got CB Passive Income, you've had it for a long time now, and you've relaunched it 5 times, and every time all you've done aside from updating the content, I'm assuming you've simply positioned it with a different angle, depending on what the marketplace is more responsive towards at that point in time.
Yep, you nailed it. And we will upgrade the system accordingly to what the market wants. So like, for instance, like this year, it's about funnel. So we developed the offers to be more funnel driven in that sense. So we are telling them, hey, you could promote a done for you funnel instead of saying that you could promote a done for you list building page. So like 5 years ago, everybody is talking about, hey, I need a system to build a mailing list. But today, people are talking about how can I build my funnel?
Right, because everyone wants to build one. And of course, what you're saying is, rather than getting, ClickFunnels and actually building one, why don't you allow me to copy and paste my funnel for you?
Yep.
Now, you're still not letting go of the old angles, such as build a list. It's just you're moving them, I guess, more of as like an afterthought, or maybe like a bullet point in the sales page, rather than the primary big bold message at the top of your sales pages and at the beginning of your VSLs.
Yep.
Yo, it's Igor. If you're loving the content, hop on over to listbuildinglifestyleshow.com for more free training and a free transcript of this episode. Oh, and I'd really appreciate if you logged into iTunes and rated the show. It really helps. Thanks. Okay, that makes perfect sense. And the interesting thing about our industry is that the people who make a lot of money figured it out, right? They understand the power of funnels. And I was at this mastermind at TNC where a bunch of people came together. Everyone in the room had at least $1 million webinar. And, they were talking about how you don't really need lots of products. They were talking about how you need one product, but many offers. And I guess what they meant was you need one product and many angles selling that product, because you can take one offer or one product and you can reposition it so many times, and you can basically be hitting different market segments or hitting on different messages of the same market. And as a result, you can thrive.
Well, that's definitely an interesting concept, and every experts and every gurus and so on, I believe that they have their own system, their own business model. So I think that it falls back to the core objective, why we're doing what we're doing. I know it may sound philosophical, but for me, I don't do any, I don't offer any mastermind, mentoring, consultation, and so on. I mean, I've done that in the past, but my business model is focused more towards mid-ticket item products. And because my whole concept is that I want to build business where I can scale and I can automate it without me being involved in the process. So I've created this system called Operation Zero Employees way back in 2015, and I've only taught a few top marketers in this region. So the whole concept is how to build a business with zero employees and to be out of the system, so to speak. Now, this is what I mean. It's for me, at this moment of time, I'm not saying that I won't do this forever. It's I used to do a 25K mentoring program and so on. And I sort of realized that takes up a lot of my time. I mean, that's just not the model that I want. I would prefer to sell a $500 product, even to the price of $1,000 product perhaps, and go for the mass market. And a big chunk of my income actually comes from the $100 product. I know it's just a whole different model, and I'm pretty sure that many gurus and experts would not agree with my model.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I'll be honest with you. If my product line ended with $100 products, I would probably not be able to scale my business to where it is today. I mean, one of the things that I'm noticing for almost all super big businesses in our industry is that they all have either a high ticket or an ultra high ticket element to them, where they end up making big money.
Right.
In fact, I'm seeing a lot of people build businesses with low to mid ticket on the front end just so they can sell something big on the back. And I'm seeing them doing it at a loss a lot of times too, because for many of them it's really hard to maintain a profitable business if they're driving a lot of cold traffic. Now your business, I mean, we have to be honest about that. Your business is driven by affiliates. right? Not so much by cold traffic. So, which is one of the primary advantages of having a product on ClickBank. You can have like thousands of people get your traffic for you.
Right.
So this is where you can generate customers at a profit by simply sharing a commission rather than going out there and building traffic campaigns.
It made sense. So I think that the way how ClickBank marketers may be a bit different. Now, again, I'm not saying that this goes across the board for everyone, but treat, for instance, my situation with another ClickBank product in the dating niche or the fat loss niche, right? They probably will not have like a $5,000 program or $10,000 program, but because they move so many units per day with the affiliates, they just don't need to have the $5,000 product and so forth.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
So the model is a bit different in that context. I'm not sure whether you get what I mean.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Basically, it's more about doing what's right for the customer rather than being driven by the bottom line and finding something to sell regardless of whether or not there's an actual need for it.
Well, the customer would definitely benefit more if we offer them, say, a $5,000 mentoring program and so on, because then they'll be able to get better results. But what I'm saying is that the other end of that spectrum is that if I'm doing the mentoring for the $5,000 and so on, it means that a big chunk of my time will be taken away. So, like for instance, before I get onto this session right now, I was like with my kids and letting them go to sleep, hanging out with them and so on. So it's just that the whole concept for me when it comes to building an internet marketing business empire, it's about having the time and the freedom in that sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, basically what you're saying is, and I went through this with my own mentoring program, is when you charge someone $5K, you feel obligated to spend a lot of time with them, helping them and really thinking about them just as much as you think about your own business. But the capacity that you have on a daily basis to invest in your business is limited. Therefore, you're choosing a lifestyle over bigger profit margins and, your own lifestyle and peace of mind over sacrificing yourself,
right? Similar,
in order to help the clients.
You're definitely right on the nail in that sense. So there's no right or wrong. I know this discussion is a bit more controversial than normal, and we're having this casual chat and so on. I just thought of bringing this up. So for me, it's like if I was to sell, say, a 5,000 program from a client, I would rather sell maybe 5 sales of $1,000 each. Or maybe I would prefer to sell 10 sales of $500. So then I would not need to consume too much of my time on one client.
Right. Got it. And this way you can create digital delivery mechanisms rather than having to deliver a lot of it yourself.
Yeah. Right. But again,
so your business remains scalable.
Right. Precisely. Right. And again, there's this totally cool with selling $5,000, $10,000 and so on. Like, for instance, I know Russell have like a very high level program, and a client of mine, who I introduced to join Russell's program, became as part of his 2 Comma Club and generate over $1 million. And he's very happy to spend his 25K or 50K and so on. And it's a great model, and Russell adds so much value to that person. But at the same time, there are a lot of the gurus, experts, and so on, so-called coaches who teach people to become coaches in order to sell high-ticket products. I mean, it's questionable whether someone should charge that high price when sometimes they are not at that level. So, it's a whole different issue. I mean, I've just opened like a can of worms into a whole different discussion. Like, for instance, you may charge $5,000, $10,000, and so on because you have the results to show, right? But there are people out there who would say, hey, you know what? Go ahead and charge someone $1,997 because that's how you make a lot of money. And I just think that from the integrity of the ethical point of view, that is just not correct.
So, looking at this, right? I mean, you're obviously operating in an industry that works against this mindset. So how do you deal with it? I mean, just on a personal level, how do you deal being different from almost everyone else in this industry?
Right. So I keep good relationship with good friends, good fellas, and I sort of build my business in my own ecosystem in that sense, because I work with ClickBank, so I communicate with ClickBank as a company. I have the executive to assist me and so on. So I don't attend events and mastermind and so on. And one of the reasons is because the demographic just doesn't make sense. So I think that as long as we are focused in what we are doing and we know what we are contributing to the marketplace and taking care of our customers, I think everything is quite cool. I think it works quite well.
Right, right. So you're basically like live and let live. The philosophy is
Say
right.
what?
Just live and let live. Basically, it'd be like, okay, this is my way of doing things, and I'm gonna stick to my little universe here, and I'm not gonna mess with anybody else, and they won't mess with me.
Yeah, I would say similar to that. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. All right, cool. So obviously, now that we sort of like dug into your past a little bit, and we kind of figured out that you've overall stayed on the right path. It's just you probably wish you've gone there a little bit faster, but you obviously had to learn a few lessons before you could realize that. So now you're at a place where you've got a strong brand.
Mm-hmm.
You are at a place where you've got lots of traffic coming in from affiliates. You're at a place where you're established, and in a way, your business is sort of bulletproof, because even if every single one of your assets tanks tomorrow, the Patric Chan brand doesn't go anywhere, right? People will still be able to recognize you as an authority. So what does the future hold? Where do you plan to take on your company next?
All right. So let's focus back on the digital products angle. So the main key focus right now is to build the membership business model. That's going to be the key. So for the next 6 months or 12 months, the focus is how we can sell more memberships. Now, I'm using a lot of the marketing jargon, selling membership and so on, because it's easier for the audience to relate. So instead of focusing on, say, high ticket products and so on, every single product of ours will lead back to a membership program. And that's where we're just going to keep on focusing on.
Right, so it's all about selling more memberships at this point.
So like we have turned,
And
like for instance, we have turned CB passive income into a membership product rather than a one-time off.
oh, I get it. Okay, cool. Yeah, and there's some challenges with that too. I think when you go and you switch to a monthly subscription model, you'll probably have to deal with retention and billing and stuff like that, which seems to be a big problem in that particular category.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Cool, cool. Yeah, we actually started experimenting with the membership ourselves, and what we're finding is we end up spending a lot of time just trying to make sure people pay on time. For example, payments skip a lot. Like 50% of the time, credit cards fail to bill, or all sorts of things like that that I personally don't find too enjoyable to deal with at all. Right. And then what it does, it skews my perception of what I think my business is. Like if I know I've got, say, 50 grand in rebills, I'm like, yay, 50 grand in rebills. And then when the actual rebills happen, it's like, oh, it's only 20 grand. Why? Well, because 60% of the time the card doesn't get charged.
Yeah.
It's like, so
That happens. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, we have the same problem as well.
All right, cool. So who's future Patric? So Patric 10 years from now, who's that guy?
Right, he would be more known as an author. So one of the goals that I strive for is to be more of an author and perhaps a speaker as well, instead of a marketing author. So what do I mean by that? So for instance, my mentor and friend and also my co-author of Clicking Cash is Robert G. Allen. So Robert Allen is an author in the sense that Simon Schuster, all the big book publisher actually pays him to write a book. So when you're an author, in the sense that you focus more on like selling the books and people actually read the book is all around the world, that kind of concept. And that is what I will want to focus on, and also speaking as well. So for now, most of my speaking, oh, by the way, the one that I did not mention is that I run my own events. I used to speak for other platforms as a platform speaker. And I spoke for a company called Success Resource, which is probably the largest seminar organizer in the world today. They used to be just in Asia, but now they are in States and so on. They bring in people like Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, Gary Vaynerchuk, and so on. So I used to speak on platforms all around the world in that aspect. And nowadays, I just do my own seminars, do my own workshops, and so on. So, but those are not really speaking as in like a keynote paid speaker. So if you're saying like 10 years down the road, that is where I will strive to achieve, to become like a recognized author and perhaps do some speaking.
Right. So it sounds like you scaled on speaking in recent years, but you're looking to get back into the game?
I want to speak on a different angle and a different platform in that sense. So it's like there's two types of speakers. There are speakers who are platform speakers where they speak and they sell, which is great. And I'm doing that and I love doing that. And then there's another type of speaker who is like John Maxwell, Brian Tracy, and so on, where they usually don't sell anything, but they're just paid speakers.
Got it. Okay, so you prefer to give value from the stage rather than to show up to sell packages and books.
Similar to that, right? Or a bit of both. I still love selling. I still love selling on stage.
All right.
So that's still in me, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, it's interesting to see an internet marketer who wants to scale his business in a digital way, striving to go and become an author and become a speaker. Because for me, the transition is also very similar, where I've just finished my book and I'm hopeful to release it next month as of the moment of recording this. And, I'm also like, my wet dream is to become that sort of speaker that gets paid to come in and speak just because of his authority and his, presence.
Yeah.
And, it's such a different mindset from the one that I've had when I started. Because when I started, all I wanted to do is just be like that, one of those invisible internet millionaires that nobody knows about. And now it's about moving from the internet into, okay, now my ego demands to be addressed as an author, So very, very interesting transition.
Yeah.
Cool. Fantastic. All right. So before we wrap up, what would be your parting words, maybe a piece of advice for the listeners?
So the most classic question that people like to ask is like, what is the secret to success? And I'm sure that you get that a lot of time as well from your audience and so forth. So I think that there is no one real secret to success. There is no one magic pill, but that magic pill does exist. So what is the so-called secret to all success? And I think it boils down to just one thing. The one thing is called consistency. It's about doing the same thing every single day that has been proven to work. So for instance, we discovered that list building is a must in our industry. And we started building that since day one, and we never stopped doing that. As we speak right now, there's some form of list building is happening. And that's what I mean by being consistent. Continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. I wrote this book called Wake Up Millionaire, and it's in Amazon. So the whole concept of Wake Up Millionaire, it's not about this waking up the millionaire in you, that kind of mindset and stuff like that. It's basically the concept that one day you wake up and there will be $1 million in your bank because you are doing the right thing every single day. And you wake up as a millionaire after, say, 12 months or 13 months and so on. So what I'm trying to say is this. Whatever that you're doing right now, if you're not seeing the results, it is not because it is broken. It is just that the time hasn't come yet. The so-called tipping point is not there yet. But you got to be consistent. Consistently doing the same thing over and over and over again. And many people stop doing that, not because they don't see the results. Sometimes it is just like so freaking bored, they stop doing it. But it is this boring thing that will make you become the so-called quote-unquote millionaire in that sense.
All right. Yeah. So becoming a millionaire is a result of mastering, I would say, one thing. It's really not that big of a I guess deal, whether it's list building or CPA marketing or creating your own products. I mean, most of the time your first million comes from doing that one thing right. And for some people, those things can be different. Like for me, the one thing that made me a millionaire was solo ads. For you, the one thing that made you a millionaire was creating your own products and having people drive traffic to it. Or maybe it was seminars, maybe it was something else. But it is the primarily to get to your first million, the one, doing that one thing and really mastering the one thing, whatever that one thing is for you, will be it. And then progression from the first million to the 10th million, that's when you're going to start, picking up some extra skills. But until then, yeah, you have to pick that one thing and just literally do it every day. And that's how you get to that big internet paycheck. All right. Well, Patric, thank you so much for spending this time together. This has been very, very informative. I appreciate you opening up and showing us behind the scenes of not just your business but also your inner world. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Jigo. Thank you.
And until next time we chat, have a good one. Thank you for tuning in to the List Building Lifestyle. Get access to previous episodes, the transcript of today's show, and exclusive content at our website at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. Also, don't forget to claim your free seat at the traffic workshop I'm conducting this week, where I'm showing how I built a list of 4,331,656 email subscribers without losing money, and how my clients are putting anywhere from 50 to 500 new leads per day on their list at a profit without any list building experience. Just go to igor.cx to claim your free seat now.